Amid the ongoing war between Israel and Hamas, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu reiterated his country's long-standing position on the war that the fighting wouldn't stop at all unless Hamas was completely destroyed and hostages were released safe and sound. He said Hamas was given a simple choice, either to surrender or die, as they did not have any other option. Netanyahu also said that after Israel achieved its goal of eliminating Hamas, he would work with all his power to ensure that Gaza no longer posed a threat to the Jewish nation. Meanwhile, still with us on the broadcast is Colonel J.S. Sodhi. Sir, what do you make of this do or die ultimatum that has now been given by the Israeli PM?
Well, Israeli Prime Minister right is giving such statements because the morale of the Israeli defense forces at an all-time high, because it's been over 2 months since they are at war with Hamas in the Gaza Strip. But the fact remains that it is impossible to wipe out Hamas totally from the Gaza Strip, because ever since 2007, when Hamas gained the control of the administration of the Gaza Strip, this is the 5th time that Israel has launched a war on Hamas, and each time it launches a war on Hamas, for some time Hamas gets subdued, but later on it emerges more stronger and more lethal. The international community led by the United States of America has been time and again saying that Israel should put an end to the war because enough of bloodbath and mayhem has happened. Over 19,500 Palestinians have been killed in this war, and more than 1,500 Israelis have been killed. So where the Israeli Prime Minister may give such motivating statements for his troops, the fact remains that Israel cannot totally destroy Hamas, and it is better that for the peace of the region, it agrees to a two-state solution, for which the American President Joe Biden and the Vice President Kamala Harris have been saying time and again.
Absolutely. With that, I'd like to thank you for joining us on the broadcast and sharing your perspectives. Meanwhile, Mr. Sanjeev Srivastava, all right, I'm told that a guest will be joining us very shortly to give us his perspectives. But of course, the latest that we are being given to understand amid the ongoing war between Israel and Hamas, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has reiterated that his country's long-standing position on the war, that the fighting wouldn't stop at all unless Hamas was completely destroyed. Meanwhile, Mr. Sanjeev Srivastava, international affairs expert, joins us on the broadcast. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you so much for joining us on NewsX. Now, of course, Benjamin Netanyahu has given a do-or-die ultimatum. He's suggesting that he's not going to stop the fighting unless Hamas was completely destroyed. But how is this going to work out? When is this war going to end? We're also being given, there was this report that was released by WHO, and they suggested that the hospital infrastructure is completely collapsing. And how long will this go on, sir?
I think this war is a complex war, and Benjamin Netanyahu, the Israeli Prime Minister, has stated from day one that it could be a long-term process. And this entire Gaza territory is a densely populated area, and these operations are going on in the built-up areas, urban warfare related operations these are. So these are the toughest operations, toughest military operations for any army, and be it Israel or any army. So I think because of the very complex situation prevailing in Gaza, the densely populated area, and obviously the humanitarian crisis which is prevailing at this point of time is causing a delay in the various successes for IDF in this operation. So this operation is going to be a long-run process, but I think Israel is very much determined to fight against this terrorist outfit Hamas, and Israel's imperatives are also very well understood. You know, the Hamas is a terrorist organization which is also at this point of time is again threatening to come up with a bigger attacks. And whenever in the future Israel goes up for any kind of a normalization process or any kind of a peace process or regional integration process in the Middle East region, this terrorist organization might come up with bigger attacks. And if Hamas remains intact despite October 7 like a terrorist attack, then it will embolden other terrorist organizations such as Houthi and Hezbollah and others to come up with a bigger attacks against Israel, and they will be of the view that if they come up with such attacks, nothing will happen to them. So I think Israel's imperatives are very well understood, and Israel is fighting this war. But at the same time, Israel will have to also take care of the people of Gaza. The humanitarian crisis which is prevailing in Gaza, that must be taken care of. Also, it is important for Israel to ensure that this war does not escalate at the regional level. And it remains a war against terrorism, it remains a war against Hamas. And I am sure that Israel is a professional army, they are a responsible nation, and they are taking care of all these factors. But yes, as far as their resolve is concerned against this terrorism and their imperatives are concerned against this war, in this war, I think that is very well understood, and Israel is very much determined to fight it on, whatever time it takes.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.